Welcome to how to make an iced latte using a moka pot. These are my ingredients so far. I just have my almond milk, my moka pot, my espresso, and my cup so far because the ice is in the freezer. So we're going to start by holding the moka pot by the boiler, which is the base, and unscrewing the top part, which is called the kettle. And it's going to take just a little bit of time. And in the inside you're going to find this porous piece, and it's actually called the funnel tank. So you're just going to tip that over and set that to the side. Next, we're going to be filling up the boiler about 3/4 of the way to be filled with water. Now we're going to be getting into our espresso. So here I have about a tablespoon, and I'm just opening the espresso of my choice and getting my funnel tank, taking scoops of it and filling the funnel tank with my espresso. And this is when I start tamping. Now this is when I compact the espresso down, so it'll be better and more concentrated flavor, making it a lot more bold, and it actually helps the water get through it, believe it or not. Pretty interesting. And so there it is, just trying to smooth it out, using the back of the spoon to push it down, and then scraping off the excess like that to make it level and even, so for when I put it back into the boiler. Now I'm going to start putting it back into the boiler and actually start reassembling the moka pot to look like how it did when we first started unscrewing it. So there I am, putting the kettle back onto the boiler. There we go. And make sure you seal that nice and tight. Next, I'm going to be turning on my stove to medium-high heat. So since it goes to 10, I'm going to be putting it at about 7. And then I'm going to be setting my moka pot on top, and this should take about 3 to 5 minutes to heat up and the espresso to be ready. So now the espresso is ready, it's steaming, you should be able to hear it, and you should be able to check and see that it's about 3/4 full. That's when I can go ahead and turn off the stove. Now if it's still steaming pretty aggressively, you can put it under some room temperature water and see how the steam goes away, so it's cooling down immediately, and then setting it back onto a cool and safe surface, so the opposite side of the stove. Now I'm pouring about 1.5 ounces of espresso, that's about 2 espresso shots, one espresso shot, and now I'm getting the almond milk. And now I have my ice, see how it's filled with most of the cup, and I'm going to be pouring the almond milk just a little over 3/4 of the way because a latte is consisted mostly of milk because espresso has such a bold flavor. There we go, and now I'm just taking my espresso and pouring it over the milk, just as such. And I will be mixing it with a straw. Now you can add other fancy stuff like different flavored syrups and whatnot, but I just kept it basic like this. And now I can enjoy my made espresso or latte.